Hey, this is Diane from Teach Pre-K, and today I want to talk about 5 things that can derail your circle time and hopefully offer some solutions that will help you bring things together. You guys, some of these might make you laugh because they are literally funny and they happen. I've been teaching, like I've said, for 16 years, and I cannot tell you the amount of just funny things that have happened that have taken a normally just great, well thought out circle time and totally run it off the rails. So I'm hoping that my experience and things that I have done to remedy these things will be able to help you with your circle time as well. But one thing that actually happened this week was the fake sneeze. Now, it could either be the fake sneeze or the fake cough. And it usually begins with somebody really sneezing or really coughing. And then they get a bless you, oh my goodness, or oh, how is that cough? You're just like cough-a-rama ding-dong, or I always say something silly. So then the other kids want to cough. So it's kind of my fault. I do realize this. But the other kids start coughing, and it just leads to the other one coughing. And it's got this domino effect that pretty soon I have 12 to 15 kids fake coughing or fake sneezing on my rug. And this week it was fake sneezing. So I had to do a pointing out who was not sneezing. I like the way that Killian's sitting. I like the way that Emma's sitting. I like the way that Lola's sitting. And then the sneezers were like, oh, what are they doing? Okay. And they were great. And then I talked to them about how either the coughing or the sneezing, even if it's not real, it is spreading germs, and that's gross. So even though we think we're being funny and silly, we just can't do that on our rug because we are so close to everybody else. And, cough or sneeze outside, get all that fun fake coffee energy, out there. And funnily enough, my lead fake sneezer, right when we got outside, started sneezing. And his parents, I actually had a conference with them that day, which was so funny because this kid is so well behaved and has never done anything like that. And I'm like, funny thing happened today. He had a fake sneeze, and they're like, oh yes, he's developed a lot of very weird allergies lately. So it was something he was getting laughs at home, and he wanted to try out at school. But you guys, this happens every single year. It happens multiple times a year, especially with the coughing during cold and flu season, which all that does is spread more cold and flu, right? So we do have to nip that in the bud, but it will derail your circle time for at least a short time. The second one is one of my favorites because it is so funny, and sometimes it is so hard for me not to laugh. I have to try to be the grown-up and keep it all together. There have been times where I have not been able to do that. But it is the tooting loudly, loud fart, during circle time, usually at a quiet time, during story, or we've got someone up doing their name of the day and everyone's being so quiet and so good and attentive, and somebody lets out a great big one and everyone starts laughing and we just can't contain ourselves. And how I have remedied that in the past is oh my gosh, we all toot sometimes, don't we? Oh my goodness. And I just kind of try to bring them back after that. Sometimes I'm successful really quickly, and sometimes, because it's so funny, it takes a longer time to bring them back. But it will derail things, and I have to try to find a way to bring it all back and do what I need to do in my allotted time. And then I'm also left with a terrible smell because I swear to you, kids after lunch and in the morning it's beyond horrible. It's like dog, it's just not good. Another funny thing that happens that will derail everything is I will legitimately have a kid with a runny nose who gets up and gets a tissue, and then everybody gets up and gets a tissue. And they don't do it all at once. It's the tissue trickle, right? Somebody else goes, oh, I need a tissue. And then, oh, I need a tissue. And they all develop this need for a tissue, where most of them are usually picking their boogers or wiping it on their sleeves or their shirt. So all of a sudden they become very hygienic and they all have runny noses. Don't know how it happens, but it will derail everything. And you guys, the only way I combat that is I let it play out. And then I gather everything back up and I move on. Trying to stop it midstream has not been successful for me. It might be for you, but it is not for me. So my suggestion is let it play out. It will stop. If it gets out of hand, then of course, yes, you will have to. Another thing is the water brigade, which is needing a sip of water at circle time. When I don't want anyone getting up, one person needs water, then everyone needs water. And usually it's somebody who asks me to get water. Then what am I supposed to do if somebody else asks? I can't say no. I just let somebody else have water. So the way I remedy that is when I give my 1 minute warning at cleanup time, I will say, if you need a sip of water, get a sip of water now. You cannot have a sip of water during circle time. Then when we do the cleanup signal, which is turning off the lights, I say, get a sip of water. You cannot have a sip of water during circle time. And there will always be someone who wants to get up and get water during circle time. And I say, I gave you chances to get water. You can have water during free choice center time. You got to sit down for now. And they don't like it, and other kids will ask and whatever, but I feel okay about it because I am not depriving kids of water. I've given them plenty of chances. Their responsibility is on them, and it kind of kicks in that cause and effect and problem solving with those kids as well. It's like, you're thirsty, you should have gotten the water when I told you to. So tomorrow I might come to them and say, hey, go get some water. Go get some water. Remember, I just said, go get water if you need to. So that helps that. The last thing is something that when I teach my 3-year-olds, especially at the beginning of the year, there is no way I am going to say no to any of these kids, but one kid needs to go potty, another kid needs to go potty, and then it reminds the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th kid that they need to go potty. And I am left with half my class. And I cannot go on to teaching an important concept because I cannot let half the class not learn that concept. So that's another one I just have to let play out if it's the beginning of the year. I do give kids lots of opportunities to go before. With my pre-K kids, I might say, hey, I gave you the opportunity to go. I'm going to ask that you hold it for a few minutes until I finish this, and then you can go. But my 3-year-olds who are new, not going to do that. I will always offer them the opportunities before circle time. But if it's during circle time and they're a 3-year-old, I know that they're fresh out of potty training and they got to go. I would much rather have them miss some of circle time than have a potty accident, which is going to take more teacher time out of the day because they have to go to the potty with my aide or myself, and we would be down a teacher, and that would lose precious time later in the day. If you have any other things that happen during your circle time that just throw the whole thing off, another thing that I'm not mentioning is if we watch a really funny video or do a really funny song, or if we're reading a really funny book, we will get the uncontrollable laughter. But usually I'm prepared for that because I know the song's going to be funny, I know the book's going to be funny, and I know the video's going to be funny. And I am preparing myself for everything going off the rails. And I will usually have a calm down video or a calm down exercise to do after that, so that we all can come back together and be regulated and everything is good to go. But like I said, if you have some great ideas, please let me know. I love hearing from everybody, and I answer your comments as quickly as possible. Subscribe to my channel if you are liking what you're seeing here. And also visit my Teachers Pay Teacher store called Teach Pre-K for all the teaching resources you could possibly want. But thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you more than you could possibly know.